Situation report, I just got pulled over.
One of the most popular questions people ask me is, Mike, how have you not been pulled over for your truck yet? And quite frankly, I don't know. I was expecting to be pulled over within 1 or 2 days of running my new lift and wheel and tire setup. But for the past 3 months or so, I have lucked out. Unfortunately, that all changed a couple of days ago. Looking at my truck here, you might be asking, well, what's the problem? It seems like an innocent enough vehicle. Why is it illegal? Well, let me explain to you why this truck is in fact very illegal. Number one, exposed off-road lights with no covers. That is illegal. For getting technical, that is illegal. Tires sticking out past the body more than 2 inches with flares, or in my case, with no flares at all. Very illegal. Window tint, illegal. Last but not least, a tinted license plate cover. Also illegal. While we can all agree those modifications make the Duramax look really cool and make it, my personal touches, in the eyes of the law, it's not cool at all. In fact, it's just completely wrong. Sadly, I live in Pennsylvania where everything fun is illegal. Now, if you're watching in Texas or North Carolina or Florida where they don't even have vehicle inspections, oh yeah, we have those too. Inspections where you have to take your vehicle every year and it has to pass emissions and it has to pass safety. So, your car has to be looked over, and if you, for example, have no catalytic converters, you can't get it inspected. If you live in Florida or a lot of other states, they don't have inspections and they don't have laws like the tire laws. But in PA, things are very, very strict. Let me explain it this way. Your tires can stick out, but they have to be covered by fender flares, and it's only up to 2 inches. So the maximum size fender flare you can have is 2 inches, and that's all the farther it can stick out. My tires stick out about 10 inches, and clearly, that is not within the confines of the law. Window tint in PA also completely illegal. Now, the interesting thing is if you have an SUV or a truck, you're allowed to have your back windows tinted. So actually, my back windows on the truck are not illegal. You can see that Ford Escape there even has factory tint on the back, and that's totally fine. But if you have a car that happens to have, now my girlfriend's vehicle, that's a little bit different. I'm sure that would be okay because that's really technically a little SUV. But if you have a car, for instance, my Corvette here, I got 2 windows, so this would be illegal. Back windows here, that would also be illegal because it's a car, same as the hatch. Now, does that make any sense? Of course not, but most laws don't. I mean, weed is still illegal in this state. Now, I myself don't even smoke it, but I feel like if that's something you want to do, that's great and you should be able to. However, I feel like that's a video topic for another time.
Situation report, I just got pulled over. I'm in the truck. The speed limit is 70, and I'm not speeding, so I'm guessing it's for the tires, but we're about to find out. Here we go.
How did this all happen? Well, strangely enough, I was dropping off Parker and his girlfriend at the airport in Philadelphia, so they could fly back to LA after their weekend here. And I was on the way home, traveling on the turnpike, and the speed limit on the turnpike is 70. Now, I rag on PA a lot, but I give them credit. The speed limit on the turnpike is okay. 70, I think, is good. And I'm just cruising along in the truck. The top speed of that thing at this point is about 90. So, it's really it's actually hard to speed in that vehicle. You really don't want to be going over 80. I think I had cruise set at 75, and a state trooper gets behind me. And if a cop makes any deliberate movement to get behind you, it's only going to be a few seconds before the lights go on, and sure enough, they went on. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wasn't speeding, so what could it be? I believe my tires for the Corrado have arrived. Some tires?
Every day.
Awesome. These are tires for the Project Corrado and the 1552 Tarmacs that I have in here. So I'll be putting them on maybe tomorrow. Here is the funny part of the story, which unfortunately it's not on camera, and I'll explain why in a second, even though I did record it. But the cop comes up to the window and he says, you look familiar. Did I pull you over here about a month ago? I said, no, I haven't been pulled over on the turnpike in about 2 years. And he said, are you sure? I was like, yeah. He said, do you have a Camaro? I said, no. And it didn't even enter my mind what he might be talking about. I just said, no. I said, I have a Corvette. And then he was like, hey, do you make videos on the internet or something by chance? I feel like I've seen you before. And I said, yes, I have a YouTube channel, which it's terrifying that the police know of my YouTube channel. Anyway, I just said, that's probably where you saw me or whatever. I was in a video and, maybe that's where you recognize me from. And then he said, are you sure you don't have a red Camaro? And then it hit me like a punch in the face. It hit me. And I said, oh, you're the guy who pulled over Nick.
Was it the Freedom Rocket Camaro with the eagle on the side? That's hilarious, actually.
I got pulled over by the same guy who pulled over Nick not like a month earlier for, I don't even know what, I think because he had a parachute on his car. What are the chances of that? Here is the reason why I'm not showing any of the footage, even though my girlfriend and I recorded the whole thing and got really clear video and audio. But this officer said, you know, are you recording? And I said, yes, you know, I have the cameras and everything running. And he said, you know, okay, that's fine. And then said something to the effect of, he just didn't want to be on video, and he wasn't being an asshole. He didn't want to be on a YouTube video. It just clearly made him uncomfortable, even though he didn't want to directly tell me not to film it or not to do what I want with it, because, you know, that's my right. And he didn't want to say, you know, don't do it. But clearly he didn't want me to do it. And, you know, I can respect that. Some people don't want to be on video, and he was very nice. Walked all around the truck and said, oh, you know, this is illegal, that's illegal. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I don't really drive it that much. And, you know, I don't really get hassled for it where I live. He could have written me, well, 5 tickets really for everything. And he gave me 0. He gave me a warning card, which is nothing. You don't have to do anything with it. Not even a fix-it ticket. So, you know, he was very nice. I appreciate it. I can respect the fact that he didn't want to be on video, you know, because of that, and because, you know, it's a mutual respect thing. You know, if I get treated with respect, I'm going to return that favor for sure. And, you know, he doesn't want to be on video, so that's totally fine. There you go. I finally got pulled over in the Duramax, and it was by a state cop on the turnpike. I never would have guessed that. Believe it or not, I'm actually doing pretty good for pullovers this year. The last time I was pulled over was in November in the McLaren with Troy, and that's it. And then, you know, the truck. November was what, 5 months ago? So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. There's people that go like 10 years without getting pulled over, and I'm proud if I can get 5 months. In the comments below, you guys can take bets as to how long it's going to take for me to get pulled over again. I'm gonna give it like a month, because for some reason, as the weather gets better and it gets warmer out, I've been seeing a lot more cops. There was just one in the video from the other day, for example. So that's the story for today's upload. I spent most of the day doing yard work and other things, but some more updates for you. I got some stuff for the truck right there in those boxes. And a big update on the ZR1, we are going to install the X-pipe, and we're gonna do a before and after dyno test, which should be very exciting. We are doing that on Thursday. That is the plan. So I'm thinking the dyno, it's gonna be a different dyno than RPMs. It's gonna be down in Gettysburg at Keith's. And we're gonna see what it makes power-wise there. It'll be interesting to see whether it makes the same as on RPM's dyno or not. I think it might make a little bit more. Only reason why is because when it was at RPM's dyno, it only had 300 miles on it. And I do feel like as the engine is now more broken in, it will make a little bit more power. Engines do tend to do that, as well as, you know, the MPGs get a little better. Then we'll put on the Corsa X pipe, and we'll see if it increases power. Now, like I said before, on the C8 Z06s, it made right about between 10 and 15 wheel horsepower. So if we have that increase on the ZR1, this will be close to a 700 wheel horsepower car. Like I said, the potential with ZR1s is going to be crazy. Like once you can mod the ECU, and once you can tune them and some more modifications come out, like a smaller pulley, I mean, these are going to be super, super easy to get in. And I mean, and I'm not just saying like easy as in like you still got to spend $5 grand. I'm talking about like $1,000, and you're going to be easily into the 800 wheel horsepower range. That's going to be a very fast car. There are, as we know, there are already automatics going 10.1s on drag radials. I think in perfect conditions, you could see a 9.9, like a high 9.9, like a 9.95, 9.98. And if you're talking about adding 120, 130 wheel horsepower on those autos, I'm pretty sure you could see like 9.7s, 9.6s without a whole lot of work. And that is fucking crazy. I mean, demon fast on a car that is, you know, really meant for the road course. Obviously this car here, we're doing this test on the dyno, but I'm not going to modify this one permanently. We'll put on the X pipe and then pull it off, and then we'll put the stock pipe back on. And then when my ZTK car arrives, which is going to be in about 20 days, Then I will put the X-Pipe on there. And I don't want to go like crazy with that car, not like I did with my other Z06s, you know, but I am going to modify it. So I'm thinking for my Big Wang ZR1, we do an exhaust, we'll do headers too, we'll go catless, that's a Ford making that noise, and we'll do a smaller pulley. And with that, I'm sure, and a tune, you know, I'm sure that car will be in the 770 horsepower, wheel horsepower range, especially because it will be another manual. So these ZR1s really just continue to impress. And, you know, I can't wait to get the Big Wang one and modify it. That's the only reason why, you know, I'm not modifying this car, because I know it is going to be sold soon, hence why I still got a dealer plate on it. And when I get my ZTK ZR1, then we can really kind of start the build. I do want, you know, I said that I don't need a dedicated drag car, which I don't need something like the Z06 over there. I don't need a crazy 1,000 horsepower drag car, but I do want like a beater drag car to take to the call out events that we're doing this summer. So I'm thinking I get a cheap C5, and I mean a cheap one, and like 8,000 bucks in that range. And I already talked to a couple companies about getting, you know, a whole engine, a whole long block, getting all those mods and shit, and just trying to do like a cheap, fun build, something that I can just take to the strip, not give a fuck about. It's not gonna be expensive, you know, it's gonna be a very affordable project, and something I can just have fun with. I hope that you enjoyed this upload. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care, have a great day.